Hello, everyone. Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. As soon as we get done hanging out, I'm taking the family to an amusement park. So everybody's waiting on me, we'll call it. But I'm excited. I've been up since 6 a.m. my time. It is 9:22. Actually, I got up at 5:15. So this is like my sixth meeting in the last almost 4 hours ish. So we're good. But I'm excited to hang out with you. Yeah, we're gonna hang out. That's some fun.
You're in an amusement park mood right now, so you're kind of getting that energy going. When you
Yeah.
get on the rides, I'm sure as long as you don't fall asleep on the rides.
No, I'm not that guy. I'm not that. That's like an old man thing to do. I'm not an old man yet, so I hope I don't fall asleep on the rides. I'll be good. We have fun, man. I'm usually the one that's like I'm like the big kid in the playground, man. We have fun.
Brilliant. Just go on the teacups and the bumper cars, and you'll be fine.
I'm over the spinny stuff. I can do. My wife hates the spinny stuff. I can
Yeah.
sometimes do it, but if I can not have to walk around for the next 5 hours feeling like I'm borderline drunk, I would prefer that. So I avoid the spinny stuff. But I'll do the fast things. I like the acceleration, like that whole like body adjustment. I like that stuff. That's what's fun for me.
It scares the crap out of me, but I still do it anyway,
Yeah,
even
you
though
know what? When I get the most freaked out is when I get in the seat and they buckle me down and I can't break. I can't like move. Because for the length of the ride, I can't go. So like my biggest fear is like, oh my gosh, what if all of a sudden like a bomb hits and like I'm stuck in this thing and I can't go anywhere? Sounds real stupid, but it's a really odd, like, I don't know, odd feeling that I have sometimes.
stupid. Same time as going on the ride, you're always putting your life in their hands. It's like when you get on an aeroplane,
Yeah,
you out of control experience, like
yeah.
anything in that kind of category. But I like to hook a duck and win a prize.
Yeah, those are fun. I don't like wasting the money on those things, man. You go out there and they're designed for you not to win. They're literally designed for you to go on there and give them a whole bunch of money and like you pay like $1,000 for a little fuzzy duck that you walk away with and go, I got the duck. After missing a bunch of rings, you can't get the little ping pong ball.
In the UK, you win a goldfish.
No, they used to do that back here, but then they died. I don't even think they give goldfish like that anymore out here.
Right. Wow. Well, we'll see. You make me want to go to a theme park now. Well, let's kickstart then. Tell me who you are and what you represent.
I am Anthony Trucks. It's a good question. Who am I? I work in identities. It's always an interesting question to ask somebody. I will describe the things that I have either accomplished or attached myself to, which I would comprise as me. I am a man of faith. I'm a husband. I'm a father. I'm a speaker. I'm an author and a coach. And I help people make shift happen in life. And if you remove the F, you get what it means. And it's wholly based around the concept of trying to get somebody to get to that thing that they've been trying to get to, but I make something like really cool. Because you don't say like I made something happen when it's like I went ahead and I bought this new video game. Like no, it's like I got the job, like I got the girl, I got the guy, I got the gig, I wrote the book. Like that's what I want to have people do. And the realm I work in to get them to doing that is identity.
Amazing. I love that. So, what does intelligence mean to you? Because obviously, you are an intelligent man. You've got a lot of, when you go down your page, you're giving
Hmm.
away intelligence as well. So, what does that mean to you?
Intelligence. I don't know. There's a definition of intelligence, which would be things that you know. I think intelligence is it's a multitude of different things that you're aware of and I think can communicate. Because there's emotional intelligence, there's book intelligence, there's street smarts, which is a form of intelligence, right? I think it's for me, it's how much can you consume, right? It's a matter of what did I consume and then what can I readily be able to pull out when I need it. I think that's where intelligence sits. Mostly because someone can be really, really smart, but if the intelligence can't be applied now, or like I have to wait till it's not as useful. But I think intelligence, like what is it that you know? And I think if you want to go another level deeper, it's what can you understand of what you know? Because I
Mm.
believe there are people that know things, but there's not this depth of understanding, which I think would lead into that form of wisdom of what it is that you know, right? There's things that, like I love the quote, you can never step in the same river twice because the river's not the same and the man or woman's not the same, right? And I think that's a form of understanding. Like there's information you know, but it's always ebbing and flowing and changing. So I think intelligence is being able to stay in that vein of consistently making more sense of what you think you already know.
I love that. That's a wonderful answer. Really, really nice. So, you obviously are a man of habit because you're successful and you're on your journey. So, what are your top 5 habits that you
Hmm.
do weekly?
Weekly, I think there's got to be one of the habits is a self check-in. I think self-awareness is a big piece. There's this quote that I love. It's hard to see the label when you're inside the jar, right? If you aren't aware, self-aware in some capacity, you end up going and doing things that don't benefit the direction you want to go. So one of the things is like trying to be presently aware of where I'm at, what I'm doing, like just kind of who is Anthony in present time. Because the last thing I want to do is have that whole hindsight and be like, I should have done that, but I wasn't aware of who I was, so to speak. So a present awareness. I'll do self-checks. I do thinking time. I try to analyze myself. I try to poke holes. I watch things I do. That's one habit I have. Second habit would be health. I'm real big. Like I work out about 6 days a week. And when I say that, most people, I think there's this concept that people only work out based on what they see on Instagram to have big butt cheeks and biceps and muscles. And don't get me wrong, I want to look good naked. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want to look good. I'm not gonna lie, I want to look good. But to be honest, I believe the biggest benefit to it is like you actually feed your brain. There's actually science behind the fact that if you do things with your body, it fuels your brain. I'm a thinker. I operate, I talk, I speak. If my brain's good, I can do a lot. I can make more money. I can do all these things. And so I consistently take care of the thing that takes care of my brain. So I'm taking care of my body. I have habits wrapped around that. The third thing I would say is a big habit is I love as a verb. So I have a wife that I love to death. I have kids that I love to death. Like, and I love with my actions. Like I move my entire day around, as you know, to make sure that when we're done, it's all day amusement park. I had 4 meetings that I had, a couple podcasts I've been trying to get on for a while that I just moved them around because this is a priority to me. So I love my kids and my wife with an actual verb. The fourth thing I do, I think it's a habit, is I consistently try to get in conversation with the people that I serve. This is a business perspective, right? So whether it's I'm in the inbox and DMs, I'm doing this, I'm in conversation. I think that there is a separation sometimes between people who serve and those they are serving. I want to be in this place, I want to create this business, do this thing, but then like you don't really pay attention to the people you're trying to serve. So then you slowly create this gap in separation. So it's consistently in conversation that just looks like answering messages, going in comments, watching what's going on in the world. It's a big piece of it. And then I try to...
That people don't always see how much, just to have that client in front of you, there's been a lot of effort of emailing and prepping to that moment just to have them sitting there, you know?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it. But if you care, it makes sense. Like I care about the people I work with. I care about everybody I get a chance to talk to. So because I care, like it makes it easy. It's effortless effort. It's effort I give, but it doesn't drain my soul. Like it's no problem. The fifth one I would say is, I guess, habits. I am always trying to be a better guy. So I have a very specific structure of how I live my life and a way to accomplish things. Like it's a planner. And what I found is most people have great planners, but have no idea how to plan. Got a great planner. I got this book here, right? No clue how to plan. So what I do is my habits are based on like I have a planner that if you look in that, you'll know who I am as a human. You'll understand what my values are. You'll understand what I put in front of people. Like this is very specific, right? So in doing that, my habit is, can I stay disciplined to the journal, to the planner, to what I got there? And discipline is an interesting word. It means disciple, which is to follow, and plan, which is plan, right? Follow a plan. So if you're a disciple of Jesus, I'm following Jesus's plan, right? We'll call it. If I'm a disciple of me, I'm going to stay disciplined. It's like I follow my plan. So my habits are based around follow my plan. So I have a plan I create. I stay in habit of following that thing. And that's I believe one of the most important pieces around like my success. I'm not magical. I don't do anything that's like special. I just have a better grasp on where I'm going, why I'm going there, and every day making sure it's being done.
Amazing. I wonder what's in that journal then. It must be lots of information.
It's all the stuff on the outside. Yeah, it's just
that's really, really cool.
Yeah, you do it right, it's good.
Have you done, is that 4 or 5?
That's 5. That's 5.
No, sorry, I was just saying.
Yeah, it's 5.
Saying more and more, and then you don't realise how many you've said. Because habits make a man, don't they? Like habits make up your whole life pattern. So yeah, really interesting. So challenges then, what has been your hardest challenge up to date? 2021, what has been your hardest challenge and how did you overcome it?
Man, my hardest challenge would be getting my family back together for sure. In my entire life, we're saying. I mean, I've played in the NFL. I've been on like TV shows. I've done a whole lot, but I think the most important one, which was the greatest challenge, because it's not it's not black and white. It's not like, I made the football team. Here's a piece of paper. I'm on the squad. To have a family be dialed in, that is one thing that has so many different relationship dynamics, personal dynamics. There's so many things. So at one point, my wife and I, high school sweethearts, went to college together, had a kid in college, had kids right after college, married, all that fun stuff. And then we got divorced for a long period of time. And it was a long journey back to getting remarried after being divorced for 3 years. That took a lot of internal work for me, internal work for her, but we now have an amazing marriage. And so like the most difficult thing for me was the journey to get to here, right? The journey to get to the point of being the guy that I can honestly say, like, I've got a lot of cool things figured out in life. Because I'm a guy that talks and teaches. And I believe one of the biggest problems we have with individuals, they see the facade of like, it's great, I get to talk and motivate, right? But I don't believe that you should in any way be telling people how to run the race until you've crossed the finish line. And
Yeah.
so I've done it. I used to talk like I'm do this and be happy, but I wasn't. And I realized like, man, I'm not serving people at a high level. I got to figure this guy out first, and then I can go talk about what's going on.
Yeah, it's quite sad to think, what you just said, but that people try and help others when they're completely not in that real mindset themselves, which is it's still a beautiful thing to do and no harm in it. But to create true power and true change comes from you first and
Yeah.
then leading on to others. So yeah, I love what you just said. That was really, really powerful. What do you think is the biggest issue with people moving forward from the past? Because a lot of people live in the past and that's kind
Mm.
of trapped. So
Yeah.
why do you think they have that issue?
Yeah, this actually ties to the concept of, and in my opinion, it's an identity of what I've created. So most people attach themselves to the thing that they've done, even if it's a bad thing they've done. So I am that. And so what ends up happening is I repeat the cycle of what I know to stay in alignment with what I believe myself to be. And so they can't get out of the hole because internally, even if it's not right, it's a bad thing. They feel like I'm horrible, I suck. I live my life in a way to be aligned to what my belief is. And so I think the first thing is people, they don't understand how to be able to set the direction to build a better belief to live into that. And some people, they'll self-sabotage, beat themselves. I did have a better relationship. Oh, did I lose you?
Got a phone call coming then.
Yeah,
So
stupid phone
I
call, dumb phone call. Um, so no, what I believe is I think if somebody gets to a point where they're able to step in and go, all right, this is who I am, this is what took place, but it's not who I have to be. It's just a version of who I was, a version of a person that saw things this way, saw problems this way, dealt with stuff this way, responded this way, right? That was a version. Who do I want to be? How do I want to react to situations, see certain situations? What intelligence do I want to have? What empathy do I want to have? What does that look like? And then all I got to do is every day start taking little actions that direction. Now, in the beginning, it won't feel like it's you. And to be honest, that's how it normally should feel when changing your life. I wouldn't typically do this. Well, no crap, you wouldn't do it, or you'd already have that thing, right? This is a new. So the idea is like find those little things, and you make very incremental efforts in those directions, and over time, two things happen. First thing is you get out of the hole. You've done the things that create the achievement to get out of the hole. Second thing is you've done the work in the dark to believe you deserve more in the light. So now when I believe I deserve more, I internally rise to that more. Because none of us we will not settle for what we think is less than what we deserve. Period. Like if you think about it, like I will not settle for like if that's my piece of cake and you take it, damn it, that's my cake. Why are you taking my cake, right? I'm not gonna settle for less. Go make me a cake, right? It's my thing. But if I don't think it was mine, you eat it, it's like, oh well, it wasn't really mine. You don't fight for it. But here's the thing is we'll fight for what we believe we deserve based on the work we did in the background in the dark to build up the small incremental things. But as much as we'll fight what we believe we deserve up here, we'll also fight for what we believe we deserve if it's down here. This is self-sabotage. I don't know. I don't know if I'm good enough. I don't belong there. I shouldn't do that. Fear sets in, procrastination sets in, all these different aspects. And what it really ends up being for a lot of people is they'll fight to stay small because if all of a sudden I have this, and in my little voice, I know I shouldn't, I'll feel like someone's going to take it away. Someone's going to poke holes. They'll expose who I am. So people will fight to stay down here. And it's mostly because they didn't do work in the dark. So you say, how do we get out of that? First off, realize where you're at. It's okay. You're human. Understand it can adjust. And two, make the incremental changes to get there, because over time it does more for you than you even understand.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. It's a journey, you
Yeah, it
know.
is nonstop, man. It's a nonstop journey. But the thing
It is.
is, if you learn how to drive, man, like drive your life, it's a fun one.
Got to make the most of it. So, like, what does a good life look like to you then?
Man, a good life. I don't care about a good life. I want a great life first. I'm gonna put that there. I think
Well,
there's something to a great life. I think a great life is one lived in a space of control and peace from a lack of feeling like you have to compare yourself. So there is a lack of peace that people have because they're constantly looking at what they believe is supposed to be success. And we've heard this before. This is not the first time anybody's ever heard me say, or anybody say something like this. But what happens is we're living our lives in comparison to a world scale that is unset and is really fickle. It's just a weird scale. No one stops and goes, what makes me happy? Nobody stops and says, what would be the thing that if I just did it, I would be happy with this thing? And then if anybody came and said, oh, what that you could have done this, I go, I'm glad you think that, but according to me, this is dope. Thank you, I'm good, right? No one does that. So we don't live in a space of internal consistent joy because we are always having it robbed by the fact that we're not measuring up to some arbitrary thing we've set for ourselves. Secondly, I don't think people have control. We have freedoms, and freedoms, they're not, I think freedom is great, obviously, but you're free to choose stuff that kills you. You're free to like smoke cigarettes. You're free to choose a job that you hate. Control says I can control myself to not smoke the cigarettes. I can control myself to adjust from the addiction. I can get up in the morning and control what happens today. Like if somebody has a job they hate, they gotta go. I have to go. I don't want to go. Oh, I gotta go. I don't want that. That's freedom, but it's not control. So for me, I look at it as like I want control of my life. Like today, I can control my schedule to then go hang with my wife and my kids and my mother-in-law, my nieces and my buddies. I can go do that because I have control of my life. And I'm at peace because I don't care if anybody else says, but you should be writing this, do this, speak this, build your business. I'm glad you see that, my man, but I have way more joy in me going to hang with my kids and ride roller coasters than try to build a conglomerate business.
Mm, fabulous. I can tell you're excited. You've got your backpacks on, your shoes are on.
Oh,
You're going to run.
we might. I'm all dressed to go. I'm always excited. This is me 99% of the time in my life. I thoroughly enjoy life because I grew up in a crappy situation and I'm presently aware of what life could be. So when I measure my life in constant, like real time, I'm like, man, this is great. There's nothing wrong with my life. So I'm going to enjoy all of it.
And I just want to say, you are a magical person. No, you said that you're not that magical. To me, you have a magic about you. So,
Thank you.
you know, light shining all the way in America over to the UK right now. So there's definitely something, magic about you. So yeah, just to finalize then, is there anything that you'd like to ask me?
What would I like to ask you? First off, I do not know your first name. I just know you're Celestia
Oh,
Boss.
Reed, does it not come up right now?
Is it Celestia is your first name?
Okay, so my full name is Sophie Celestia Barbie.
Ah,
The reason why I don't use my first name is because I was a lost soul for 7 years.
hmm,
And that is the old me. That is the
gotcha.
drug alcoholic, the person that used to get, in fights and in all the chaos that went on in the world. And
Hmm.
to overcome that person, to grow from them, I've left that skin behind me. So that's
Yeah.
the old. And Celestia is my middle name. It means heavenly, and it's such a beautiful name. And I just find that when I look in the mirror, I see myself as a Celestia. Like I've even got it tatted on me. Like I'm
Oh,
like
I
a Celestia.
see.
That makes
That's what I
sense.
thought it was. Like celestial means like, space, stars. I was like, I didn't know what your actual name is. So that's the question I have. Other question is, ready for it? It's the question I ask at the end of my podcast every time, and it's going to be one you get to have fun with. Here's a question. What promise did God make to the world when he created you?
I think that he promised that I would help people survive.
Hmm, I like that. Why? Why is that?
Why?
Well, not why did he say that, but why probably better I should extend it. Why do
Because
you feel good about that? 'Cause that's a good one, right? So why would you feel good about that?
the reason why is because I'm working on myself as a daily project and I'm
Mm,
consistent. fighting for my own life, but at the
Mm,
same time, fighting for my own life and, you know, encouraging myself to have the best life, I'm consistently reaching out to others and trying to give them doors into my mind
yeah.
and into my body to give them also a good life and a good journey. So for me, it's just about, if you can just shine a bit here and shine a bit there. Like today, we've been speaking, what, 15 minutes, but we've shined each other's souls, you know,
Yeah.
we've gave each other's energy. And if you can give out that positive energy on a daily basis, the moment you take your last breath, you will be saluted by the human race. And for me, that would just be
Be
incredible.
nice,
So
right? Yeah, I tell people all the time, I say, I want to have a really big funeral. It sounds
yeah,
odd. I think my thing was years ago, I think I had this feeling because I watched some people like pass away early. But when I came into the world, I was given away by my mom at 3 years old. So like my own mom didn't want me and my siblings. So I kind of came in solo, we'll call it. I came in without an audience. And so I figured like if I do something cool, man, like if I do something great to serve the world, stuff like this, then when I'm gone, it's probably gonna be live streamed by that point. It'll be at VR goggles hanging around. But when I'm gone, if people want to come hang out and say hi and see me off, like I will have done it right, whatever it is I'm supposed to do. So I do things like this. I could have easily said, you know what, Celestia, I can't hop on today because I got this family thing, but I don't like doing that. Like I believe it's like you did reach out because you do want to shine a light. So you're living what you're talking about. And I want to make sure I show up for the world in a way that is consistent with the way that I tell people I want to. I got to be in the dark. I got to do what I agree to and I've done because I want to show up positively at all times in the light. And so we're doing what we're talking about in real time. So I honor you. Well done for putting this together.
and I also think when good people come together, obviously we're both in the same field of personal development. So when two good people come together, we're both like saying, "Yo, there's some wicked people out here," you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
I and that's what I represent. I represent shining my own light, but bringing other leaders into my light, and we
Yeah.
shine together. There's no like competition out here, you know. It generally is like, let's come together, let's cuff each other, group hug, let's have a laugh, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
That's
fine.
how,
I think that's the cool part about it. When I played sports, like I played the NFL, professional football, there's a different energy because like I gotta beat you. But what's cool about like what I do here, first off, not everybody's supposed to work with me and hire me. Like the majority of people just will never actually invest the money to work with me. And that's totally fine. Some people will be like, I'm not gonna talk to you unless you pay me money. I'm like, that's just shady, man. And you're supposed to help people, right? And the second thing is I understand that as I do what I do, like there's a fulfillment I get from filling up other people's cups. And so this, as much as people are like, oh, he's doing, like, I feel good about this. I love that I get to go and impact people's lives and do what I do and not do it just for a paycheck only, but do it because there are process I go through. But just, yeah, just to give people little nuggets, little seeds, and they go, hey, thank you, man. Like, cool. I get to move on and go do what I do. Like that's a joyous space that I think, here's what I told people. When you get to do something you love, that people love that you do, that's a sweet spot for life.
booyakasha.
Booyakasha. My name is Allergy. Dot there. Do.
On that note, I'm going to let you go and enjoy your theme park
Thank you.
vacation. You say vocation, yeah, theme park vocation with your beautiful family.
Thank you.
So
Thank
thank
you.
you on here, and I salute you from the UK.
Take care.
Oh, much love. Take care. Adios, amigo. Keep it up.